What's going on, everyone? It's Crits on a Beat, and in this video I'm going to be cooking up a UK rap type beat using my brand new sample pack, the Care Package Volume 1. The pack features 12 melody loops created by myself, over 50 drum sounds, and an FL Studio mixing template that I use. You can get it completely for free, link is in the description below, man. So this is the sample that I've chosen. It's the second sample in the sample pack. It's called Ether. Let's have a listen. I've also gone to the trouble of cutting it up into the individual stems as well. And the files are labelled with the tempo and the key. Man, it's becoming too easy, bruv. Free download, make sure you go get that. Anyway, I'm going to start off by cutting the sample just into the stem so we have full control over each element, and then bring them all down into their own separate channel there. We could get rid of the main sample now. What I am going to do is make each one of these unique so that we can assign them to a different channel on the mixer, just to make our lives easier, man. We've got full control over every single sound now. Let's listen to that. Man, it's clean, man. It is clean. Free download, bruv. First thing I'm going to do is just isolate the sample, and I'm going to use a bit of an EQ just to take some of the low and high end off. So there's a frequency in there that's just a little bit sharp, so if you put a spike on it and bring it up, you can really hear it there. So I'm just going to bring that all the way down. And there's another one there, so we'll just remove those. Easy, bruv. I'm going to put the bass into mono. Just separates it in the mix a little bit. Now I'm just going to create an 8-bar pattern. I'm going to go through some drum sounds and start to build some drums around this beat. Let's go. We use Control L. Cool little trick you can use: if you highlight one of the notes, press Control U. You're gonna get them little skippy hi-hat rolls. It's a nice little effect, man. We'll do another one there and then hold Shift and down, so then we can change the tone. So it's just a different note. Select them all, hold Shift and bring it to the right. Do another one here. Now I want an open hat. So if it starts to do that when you've dragged a sample, and it's literally just this button here. So if we click on the actual sample, deselect use loop points, and it'll stop doing that. Change the velocity all the way up. Now my favourite bit, the kicks, bruv. Put the kick in mono. Again, change the velocity so it's hitting as hard as possible. Take it all the way over. And then we'll add some variation in the second half just to switch it up a bit. I want a crash as well. I'm just going to get a transition from splice as well, because there's one I really like to use. I love this transition here, it just works really well with these types of beats. So I'm going to change the step, and I know that it's wanting to hit, well, it wants to end essentially where that bar ends, so I'm just going to put it to that actual section and cut it so it should finish perfectly on there. Turn it right down because they're way too loud. Change the mode to stretch and just bring it down one. And you'll notice that I'm leveling as I go. I don't want to have loads of work to do at the end of making a beat. So if you start to level as you actually are creating the beat, it saves you so much more time. People want a tutorial on leveling and stuff like that. I'm prepared to do that. You just have to let me know in the comments, man. One quick tip that I will give you though is if you're struggling to know where to start with it, the kick generally should be the loudest part of the track, right? So if I isolate the kick and use this plugin called VU Meter, it's by Waves. It's a really good plugin, very inexpensive, but it's well worth it. We've got the kick in mono, so we use the mono version, and then literally all I do is go to this headroom section and bring it down to 15, so that's -15 it means. So now when I play the kick, I want the kick to be hitting around 0, okay? I'm aiming to get it around there. That's where I'm aiming for. This is going to be way too loud. You see, so immediately it's peaking, it's well over, well over. So if I go to the kick and turn it down and then try to get the kick hitting around 0, let's see. And now you can see generally it's hitting around 0. It's okay if it goes over a little bit, like don't worry about that, it's not a major issue. It needs to be loud, but not clipping. We need headroom after we've finished the beat to master it, basically, to get the levels right. So that is a really good starting point to build the rest of the elements of the track around. So now by doing that, I can hear that that snare is way too loud. And everything else needs turning down. I also like to put a doubler on the hi-hats as well for some reason. It just gives it a bit more width. And I'll bring the mix level down just a little bit. So now I'm just going into the vocal section and just making sure there's no anomalies there within the frequency range. I've done this in the processing because I made the loop anyway, but it's just worth checking. Bonus tip time. For the bass, I use a plugin called R-Bass. Again, we put the bass into mono, so we use the mono version. This just gives so much clarity, compression, brings out some harmonics within the actual bass itself. So you can change the frequency range. When you go really low down and crank it, if you're playing this through speakers like, you know, KRKs like I have, or Yamahas or whatever, you're really going to hear that bass. It'll start to rumble, you know. So just by putting this plugin on and not even touching a thing, it makes a massive difference. That's with it off. This is with it off. This is on. Mad! Tricks of the trade, man. Tricks of the trade. Sweet. So now what I'm going to do is just take this drum pattern that we've created, right click on the pattern and split by channel, and then I have full control over each element. What I'm going to do is go to the sample track and insert a Fruity Love filter, and I'm going to go to the low pass preset, just a simple low pass, and just listen to it. Sweet. And what I want to do is create an automation clip. I just go to the Fruity Love filter, we're on the sample, right click on the mix level, and then create automation clip. So what I want to do is start to automate this by right clicking where I want it and just using that on sections that I want it to apply and not apply. So when it's all the way down, obviously there's no automation happening. When it goes into full and into the second section, you can see that's where it applies the effect. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate your time. If you liked it, please hit subscribe and like the video, and subscribe for more content, and leave the comments below as to any videos that you want me to make in the future. Make sure you download the free pack, Care Package Volume 1.